well, we're kind of screwed because of the way the world is right now. People aren't really big fans of of girl boss movies,
Right.
so we kind of screwed ourselves here.
Yeah.
And to get people,
Are you tired of the endless supply of terrible storytelling? Of uninspiring, nihilistic stories that permeate most of modern day entertainment? Are you tired of the diversity, equality, and inclusion standards that are forced upon movie creators and actors? Well, so are we. So go with us on a journey as we chronicle for you the latest news in entertainment, as we discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of the film industry, and as we pave a way forward to see the kingdom of Christ grow and the dragon of secularism meet its end. If you want to support us in our mission, head over to patreon.com/The Powell Bros, or follow the link in the show notes. There you will gain access to our exclusive show, The Powell Bros Mini Reviews, as well as early access to both Movie Chronicles and movie reviews. Now, on with the show.
all right, welcome to Movie Chronicles with the Powell Bros. I am one of your hosts, Tobiah Powell. Glad to be back again. I took another week off. Well, we both took a week off. I was off filming again, and we got some exciting stuff coming for you guys. We keep making these promises. We promise it will come eventually. You just got to be patient.
Do you want to divulge anything? You want to give a little nugget? Like, hey, this is kind of something we're working on?
Yeah, we're working on making a documentary. Yeah, we're making a documentary. We are interviewing a few influential people. We've interviewed Andrew Isker, Joshua Hames, and Joel Webben. Joel Webben himself.
Yes.
Had a little brain fart there. But anyway, we're interviewing those guys, and we have a few other guys that we're going to be interviewing. I'll release information as we come along. Don't want to give any false promises to anybody, but yeah, we've interviewed them for our documentary, and you might see a theme with the people we're interviewing, so you might be able to figure out what we're making. I kind of act like it's a secret, but it's not really a secret. I mean, we have our movie, all the pre-production information on well, not the pre-production. We have all the information on the film on IMDb, so it's out there.
There you go. Go check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Fearless Wandering Productions.
Yep, Fearless Wandering Productions. You can search it up. I think I'll just hold off on the title for now. It's fine. Out there. You can find it, but for some reason digging. I don't want to say it as of yet. I feel like it's too early.
That's fair.
But it's not really too early. It's just I don't know.
It's early.
We're working on that, and so we've been filming that. I've been traveling a lot for that, traveling to all these guys to interview them, and it's been really fun. So thank you for your patience as we've taken weeks off and had some odd weeks here and there. For next month should be pretty normal, and then end of April be a little another gap there.
Yeah,
we'll have a dark week, but yeah, other than that, it's been fun. Trent, how you doing?
Doing great. Yeah, I mean, I've been busy with other things, just life in general, but definitely excited to be back on here and do some discussing of what's been going on and kind of back into the swing of things. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's about. You got any crazy news? I mean, we're not going to cover everything that we've missed because there's been a lot, but I think
right.
It's definitely some things that we can tackle. I don't know if you saw, but I named our X spaces the state of Hollywood in 2025, just because there's a lot of things that we're seeing that are evident of where Hollywood's at, and spoiler alert, it's not in a good place, not going anywhere, and it's just been an interesting few months to start off the year. So
for sure. Yeah, we got quite a big trailer dump these last couple weeks. I don't know if you've kind of noticed it.
Yeah, a little bit. We're getting close to summer releases.
I mean, five movie trailers that I'm of movies to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to tackle any of those?
Yeah, sure. I'll just start at the top of my list of ones that I've seen. Happy Gilmore 2. We saw a trailer for that. Yeah, I mean,
what do you think?
I don't have a whole lot to say on it. I mean, it's a legacy sequel is all it is. We get a lot of callbacks. We got I don't remember the name of a lot of these characters, but
right. It's been
the one that Ben Stiller plays. He popped up in there.
Yeah, the nursery home.
Yeah,
the nurse dude.
Yeah,
not nursery home. The old folks home, the senior home. Yeah.
Yep. And then I can't remember the name of the main bad guy, quote unquote bad guy in the first one.
Shooter?
But
is it Shooter?
Maybe. Don't know.
I mean,
it's been way too long since I've seen it.
So. Yeah.
But yeah, he popped in there like very briefly.
And he'll definitely be probably the main antagonist, I would assume.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can't even remember the trailer now if there was like a antagonist or it was just a teaser trailer, but
right. Yeah.
Or it'll be like a redemption story, like Cobra Kai. That's kind of popular. Let's give the villain a redemption arc. Which I mean,
right.
I haven't seen Cobra Kai, but I've heard they do it well there. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be an interesting one. It's coming out only on Netflix. So that's odd, sort of. I mean,
it's Adam Sandler. He has a contract with Netflix, and
yeah,
there's like, hey, do you want to make something original or do you want to make a sequel to probably your most popular movie? Well, let's do that. Bring all your old buddies back and have some fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Though Adam Sandler, he's got to be getting old. I'm surprised he can still do the Happy Gilmore shot.
Yeah. That's true. That's funny. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, similar to the first one, it brings in a lot of current golfers that are big in the golfing world on the PGA Tour and whatnot, and so they're doing the same thing with like all the new hotshot guys, and Happy Gilmore needs to come out of retirement and make some money or something, and so he's gonna go get on the tour again, and probably win it in the end. So
yep, probably. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't have anything else on that.
Yeah. What else you got?
Ballerina.
Oh yeah, I briefly watched it. I mean, I've seen the previous trailers, so I didn't watch the newest one.
Yep.
But,
This trailer for the
John Wick.
New trailer for the basically female John Wick, but yeah. It's supposed to be a spin-off, but John Wick seems to be a main character in this movie, so that's weird.
So I think originally he didn't have that big of a role, but I think they might have added, like, I don't know, included him in it a little more. I doubt he's going to have that main role. He's probably just going to be some sort of a mentor figure. And obviously it's a prequel, so it's in the past because his character's dead in John Wick 4. Spoiler alert. And so I don't know. I'm sure he'll have some kind of mentor role throughout the film. I
Mm.
doubt he'll be in it that much, but maybe they do. I mean, they probably
It kind of
would.
the way they alluded to it, like it seemed like he was going to be pretty much a main character, but
Huh?
I don't
Okay.
know. We'll see.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You should watch the new trailer. I mean,
yeah.
they really make it seem like he's just going to be in the whole movie.
Okay. Well,
But it could be a marketing
I think it's
tactic
yeah.
to get
That's what
people
I was
to
gonna
go see
say.
it because they're like, well, we're kind of screwed because of the way the world is right now. People aren't really big fans of of girl boss movies,
Right.
so we kind of screwed ourselves here. And
Yeah.
to get people to come watch this, we better make it seem like John Wick is going to be in this whole movie because that's what people want to see. They don't
Right.
want to see this girl play a seemingly John Wick-esque character.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm all for expanding the world of John Wick and
Yeah.
the whole secret agency. I can't remember what it's called, but whatever they're called. I'm like fine with that. I mean, there are female agents or female John Wicks, if you want to call them that, in the other ones, though they're not like they don't play like big prominent roles.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I don't know. It's just not anything I'm that interested in, even as a fan of John Wick. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. Nobody's interested, and that's why
Yeah.
they're trying to make it seem like John Wick will be in it. So
Yeah,
people
you know
wanna
John
see
Wick.
it.
You like that guy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Kind of going along this state of Hollywood right now.
All right, so that's two. A sequel or spin-off. All right.
Yeah.
So do you have anything original?
Sort of. Yeah.
Okay.
Elio,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
new Pixar movie. Did you watch the trailer for that?
I did, yes.
Did you see the mom?
Yeah. Yeah, what?
I don't know if they're. I think they're Mexican. She's
Dude,
very dark
I have
skinned.
no
I don't
idea.
know what ethnicity she's supposed to be, but
I
she
have no
obviously
idea.
isn't white. She's not
Right.
white. She's a single mom, and
Yep.
she's in the military. They went all the way and even put her in the military.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
It's ridiculous.
So dumb. So
Typical.
retarded. Yeah. It's yeah, something else. That movie is going to be terrible.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just like it seems like a typical, a kid who longs for adventure. At the beginning of the trailer, I feel like there might have been like a little bit of like father hunger, like he's desiring like some sort of father figure with like, and had that one creature that was the father of his new friend or whatever. There's I don't know. I was like, okay, there's something that they could do with that for sure,
Right.
and they might even have some of that. And it's just like, I don't know, a kid that longs and dreams for something more, wants aspires for something, goes on an adventure, and it's just with
Right.
Pixar, everything surrounding it. I don't know. It's not anything it doesn't capture me. I don't think it's going to capture even children like Pixar used to. I'm also sick and tired of the new Pixar animation. All their human characters look the same. You have like Luca and Turning Red and all. It's just they have this. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just the same animation style.
They're all like
for their
really
human characters.
They're like really bubbly. Like it's really round. Like everything's really rounded. It's weird.
Rounded, very rounded, and I don't know. I what was it? Soul is another one. I think. I just uninterested. It doesn't. It's you go back to original Pixar. All the characters in different movies were very unique. They had their own style. You could tell it was Pixar between the different movies, but it was all unique, and they just put a lot more effort into the animation, and they just don't do it anymore.
Right. Yeah. No.
Like speaking of animation, there was I don't know where I saw this, but someone had talked to someone who worked on the original Snow White, and you go back to the original animated films back, the hand drawn animation, and there's just something about it that is just compelling. It's magical. There's a beauty to it. There is an artistic touch that we don't really have anymore when it comes to animation, because it actually came from the hands of artists, and they labored every single shot, every single frame in those animated films was hand drawn by a person, not a computer. It was a human being that had a desire for the project, that loved the characters, that had a passion for what they were doing, and it comes out in the animation. And this guy asked, I think someone who worked on the original Snow White, or knew someone that worked on the original Snow White, I can't remember, but basically said why don't we see animation like that anymore? And the answer was, oh, we literally can't do that anymore. We don't know how they did that. We don't know how they were able to create that. And that's yes, they understand it was hand-drawn animation, but it was like the skill that it took to do that is no longer existent, because we rely upon computer animation, and animation just has come so far from that point. And so, sorry, it wouldn't have been Snow White. It's like, what, 100 years old, isn't it? No. What year was it?
In the 50s, didn't it?
50s. Never mind. So yeah, no, Disney.
I want to say the 50s.
Well, the Walt Disney Studios is 100 years old. So yeah, I think it's like 50 or something. But anyways, so I don't know who it was. Basically, the conclusion is we can't recreate that, because for one, we don't have people passionate enough to do the hard work to create art like that. So anyways,
right.
I say all that. Pixar has just become bland. It doesn't it's a Pixar movie, but it doesn't feel like an original Pixar, like what we had growing up. It's different. It's changed so much, and it's uninspiring and bland, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They will not, like, Elio will not stand the test of time the way that Toy Story has, the way that Bug's Life has, Cars, even Wall-E. It does not. It will not last.
Yeah. Yeah, even in Wall-E, the fat characters weren't even as round as the new Pixar characters.
I guess maybe it's like there's a little bit of similarity to the animation, but not really. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing that they're doing now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But yeah, kind of speaking of Snow White, I mean, we've got some news sort of surrounding that.
Is it the gayest Snow White ever?
I don't know. I'm not seeing it, obviously.
Sounds
it's
like
Thursday night, and nobody's going to see it.
Yeah,
literally nobody. Tonight,
and those that are seeing it or hate watching
opening night. I didn't check tonight. I wanted to check. I forgot to see how many seats actually got sold. But before last weekend, or no, I think I checked last weekend, and there's only like 3 or 4 seats sold for their their fan event opening night, like their midnight premiere on Thursday. Wow. Yeah. Literally 3 or 4 seats in the entire room.
Yeah, mine was about the same for all the screenings. It was like, some didn't have any. A couple had 2 or 3 sold for today. I looked like yesterday or 2 days ago. So not very many.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
The thing about Snow White is it's interesting because like there are going to be families that are going to take their kids to see a Disney movie, a Snow White movie, just because they're not involved, they're not aware of what we know and how we have they don't know about all the Rachel Zegler interviews. They're talking about how it was weird that the prince stalked Snow White like a pervert, and it's like they're not keen to all that, and so they're going to take their kids to see it just because. It's going to make some money. It's not going to make a profit though, because the budget, it's like ballooned at least $250 million, probably more. Doesn't include the budget or the marketing budget, and
Right.
It
Yeah. No,
may
it's
have
gonna
a
be
hundred.
really bad.
Yeah, it may have. It looks like it's gonna probably have $100 million opening weekend.
Mm.
Compare that to Little Mermaid, which had I think 140 or 130 million opening, and that movie went on to actually make some money, barely, but I think it had like five. It was like 500 or 600 million by the end, or maybe more. I don't know, but it's not looking good for Snow White at all. And
Right.
the reviews are coming in, so
Yeah. The
so,
Rotten Tomatoes score is sitting somewhere around 40%.
right. So
Last
so
I saw.
let's rewind a little bit. Are you aware of the how they they canceled the red carpet in the
Yeah.
UK? But then they limited the red carpet in the US to basically Disney shills. Those
Yeah.
that are gonna watch it
And
and praise it no matter what.
only photographers.
Yeah, that
No
work for
no
Disney.
interviews. Yes, no
That
interviews.
work for
No
Disney. Photographers that work for
no
Disney.
yeah. So bad.
Yeah. And so all the reviews from that showing, from that red carpet, were positive. They're like, oh, everyone was saying, everyone all the reviews were like, people keep saying it's going to be terrible. Like, no, it was actually really good. It was actually quite spectacular. They're saying things like she was a supernova. She was so incredible. It was a feast for my eyes, and all these things. And so
Gay.
it was getting all these positive reviews surrounding it, and then
You
the
sound
review.
vaxxed.
What was that?
You sound vaxxed. All those reviews that you were quoting, they all sound like vaxxed people.
Yeah. Right.
Those
And
are
then
those are quotes from gay people for sure.
probably. And then and then the review embargo for those that did get to see it early, I think was closed until like 3 p.m. I think it was Wednesday, which is kind of ridiculous. Usually it's like
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, they shut down the embargo. You can review the movie and whatnot and put it out there. It wasn't. It was like they tried to go as close as they could to the Thursday release, so that it wasn't a flood of negative reviews. But it ended up being a flood of negative reviews, because once that embargo was lifted, everyone hated on it. It was like 40-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. Say what you will about Rotten Tomatoes. If they're giving a Disney movie a 40%, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, if the majority of the critics on Rotten Tomatoes are saying nope, this is not good, then it's probably not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
sure.
and from what I've heard and from people that have actually seen it, yes, it is worse than we were expecting. As far as the plot, which makes absolutely no sense, the story, the acting, apparently Rachel Zegler's actually not the worst thing about the movie. She's actually decent. She has a really good singing voice. She started on Broadway. She can sing.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, even the acting I think is okay, but everything surrounding the movie, the story, the plot, the activist writing, which is so evident in it, the fact that the prince is actually not a prince in the story. They don't make him a prince. He's just this rebel renegade dirtbag who falls in love with the prince, or with the princess, and basically urges her to lead a rebellion against the white fascist queen. In order for them to have a socialist utopia, which the queen is preventing them from having. That's basically the story. It's really dumb. And of course the CGI, apparently it just looks awful. Like the colors do not go well together. It looks like garbage. The whole movie looks like it was green screened. It looks like there was a lot of reshoots. The dwarves are atrocious, and it just sounds bad. Which means I kind of want to go see it, but I don't want to spend the money.
Yeah, no.
It'll be on Disney Plus in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Like actually, or you're just saying?
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The only other movie that I'm actually kind of interested in is this is actually another original movie. A Working Man. Did you see the trailer for that?
Is that
got,
Statham?
Jason Statham, yeah, and David Harbour.
Yep.
It looks pretty fun. Like like there hasn't been really any like original action movies. So I'm like, oh, that looks decent. Like,
yeah,
I would say this is. But I mean, a lot of Jason Statham movies are just like ridiculous with horrible stories. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the formula is the same for all his movies, though.
Yeah,
he's just like a typical working
that's my
man.
Only concern.
Yeah. No, but like it works. They're just they're fun action movies. You get to see they're masculine films. You see a father figure protecting his family, beating up bad guys.
Yeah,
and
I like
cracking jokes as he goes.
Yep, and I like the chemistry between him and David Harbour. I think that'll be really fun and cool to watch.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna do well in an action movie together. That's more why I'm excited. I like David Harbour quite a bit in his acting and his yeah.
Politically, he's a piece of crap, but he's a good actor.
Probably, sure.
No, I don't want to get into that. I'll see it. You know.
Yeah.
There's nothing this year. You know, there were a couple movies at the beginning that I was like, oh, that was fun to go see, but man, it's been a complete bust this year.
Yeah.
So far. There's some that I'm looking forward to going forward. A lot of mostly just original stuff that hopefully is good, but it's just I don't know. Hollywood's dead.
Yeah.
There's just and no one's seeing movie. No one's going to see movies.
Yeah. We're kind of at that point where, like, I mean, even like last year, like the movies that ended up being like kind of surprisingly good were movies that you either hadn't heard of or just didn't expect to be good. Like, I mean, one of the best movies of last year was Heretic. I had never even heard of it before it came out. You know, you might have, but I would say a lot of people probably hadn't heard of it before it came out, and then it ended up being one of the best movies. And I think that's kind of where we're at, where there's going to be a lot of independent movies that they don't have the budget to spend tons of money on advertising, and they're just going to trust that, like when their movie comes out, if people like it, like the word's just going to go out. And I think we're kind of at that point where it's kind of just a reliance on independent movies doing well through word of mouth. And then that's where we're going to start to see like wow, this is a really great movie, never heard of it, and then it ends up being one of the best movies of the year or something.
Totally. But what's funny is that those are probably going to be the most profitable movies this year. Are the low budget original idea films that aren't going to be really that well marketed, but people are going to go see, and they're going to make money because those are the movies that people want to see, and it doesn't take much for them to break even and make a profit.
Right. Yeah.
Disney so far, they've Brave New World, they lost a lot of money on that film, which I had predicted it was going to be 350 to 400 million, and that's pretty much what I think it's gone a little bit over 400 million worldwide, I'm pretty sure, but that's where it stopped, and which means they lost even with the $180 million budget, they lost money on that. And but the budget was likely a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And Snow White, they're $200 something million. They will lose money on it. I think there's going to continue to be a lot of very high budget films that are going to be heavily marketed. Like Snow White, I've seen everywhere, and no one's going to see it.
Yeah.
You have a lot of big movies this year. You have Fantastic Four. You have Superman. You have Jurassic World. You have these big blockbuster movies, the summer blockbuster movies. At this point, I'm not sure those movies are going to make much money. Even if they're good, I don't think they're going to be good. But because I've lowered my standards, or I've come to accept that like these big studios are incapable of making good movies and telling good stories. And will I be surprised by some of it? Some of them, maybe. Hopefully, if I lower the bar enough, maybe. But have you heard? Did you hear about Netflix's movie? What's it? With Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Electric State.
Electric State. Did you see how big that budget was for that movie?
Yeah, like $350 million.
Yeah, 350. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it actually.
You did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear because I've heard people's opinions on it. I've not seen it. I don't have Netflix.
Right.
What'd you think of it? Was it any good? $350 million movie. Was it good to buy?
I was surprised that's what the budget was. It seemed like maybe $100 million budget movie. Like
really,
that's what I would have guessed.
Okay.
Not necessarily that it like looked bad. I just don't understand where that money went.
Yeah.
Like the CGI was pretty much fine. Some of the bigger shots, like yeah, sure, like that's obviously CGI.
Mr. Peanut,
but Mr. Peanut was fine. Like a lot of the robots and stuff, like when they were like interacting and stuff, like it looked fine. Like I didn't really have many issues with it. Putting that aside, the budget, it's not an amazing movie, but it's not a terrible movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I could watch this movie again and enjoy it. I actually did enjoy watching it. There's definitely issues with the story. There's definitely issues with some of the pacing. But honestly, like I went into it just like I just wanted to sit down and just enjoy a movie, and I was able to do that. I was able to just enjoy it.
Nice.
Is there issues with it? Yes. Is there the budget ridiculous? Yeah. I don't get the budget at all. Like it just doesn't seem like that high scale of a movie at all.
Right.
Like if you compare that to like Endgame, like a similar budget movie, it's like not even comparable. It makes no sense.
That's odd. I don't know.
So given that, I think it's enjoyable. I think you can go and watch it. I'll probably do a mini review. I forgot that I could do mini reviews. I'm gonna do a mini review of it.
Nice. Yeah, do it.
And but yeah, just plain simple like that. I guess I'll just leave it at that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's basically kind of what I heard. It's like it's okay. I think I did hear some people hating on it, but I don't remember why. But anyways, ridiculous budget. It didn't even go to theaters. It was just Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't know where they put that money towards. It's
yeah.
Chris Pratt.
The fact that it's Netflix too, like
yeah,
you get your money back through the theater. Like how in the world, like were they expecting to get back $350 million? Right. Through
this was like with
just
Netflix,
like subscriptions or whatever.
I mean they like they've won the streaming wars. Like they have the most streamers by a lot. They're maintaining their streaming base. They produce ridiculous amount of content. I doubt that they're profitable. I don't know how they could be profitable except for with maybe their ad based stuff and all, with the amount of subscribers they have, maybe, but they're the amount of projects that they pump out is crazy. And
for sure.
like, who knows what they're spending on Stranger Things season 5, which is going to be like an hour and a half episode, or every episode's gonna be like an hour and a half long. That's like 8 movies, and they're all gonna release this year. So I don't know. It's kind of strange. I don't understand how they're profitable. Maybe they are. Whatever.
Right.
Disney Plus, on the other hand, they're losing money left and right. Did you hear Apple? I keep wanting to say Apple Plus. I think it's Apple TV, right?
Apple TV. Plus.
So they just finished Severance season 2. Have you seen Severance season 1?
I haven't. No.
Oh, okay. I watched season 1. It's decent. I want to watch season 2. I don't have Apple TV, but I'll probably just subscribe for a month and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another mystery box show that kind of you never really get answers. You just get more and more questions, but we'll see. Anyways, what I'm saying, I think a Deadline released an article that was talking about how Apple TV is losing every year. They are losing about $1 billion, meaning that they're not profitable. They're down $1 billion every year, and it's just that's just wild. Apple, I get it, because they're one of the most profitable companies in the world. They have a lot of money that they can just throw away, and they want to do that with streaming for some reason, so they do. And so it's like they probably don't care a lot, but I mean, you're losing $1 billion every year on this. Like, what's the point? And then you have like Paramount Plus, who's like, very few people are subscribed to that. Max has some subscribers, and they don't have very much original. I mean, they have some original content. They just had The Penguin, which was a huge success, and they have their Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon stuff. But it's just streaming is not gonna last much longer. Netflix has definitely won out, and no one's going to catch up, I don't think.
Right.
And it's just all these things. It's just Hollywood and music, the movie industry, the TV shows. It's just a whole lot of nothing. And then you have Daredevil Born Again, a TV show that is a reboot or a sequel, whatever you want to call it, of one of the greatest TV shows, I would say, of all time. One of the greatest comic book projects of all time, if not the greatest. And they have failed to get people to watch it. It's been mostly well received. I'd say mostly well received, somewhat, but no one's seeing it. It's not even breaking the top 10 each week. They have lower views than stuff like Agatha All Along. The Acolyte had less views than The Acolyte for the opening 2 episodes. That no one is going to see it.
That's crazy.
And that's what's like making me wonder. It's like, okay, I think Marvel's done. I don't even think Fantastic Four is going to save them. I don't even know if Secret Wars and Endgame, like, they're making 2 new Avengers movies. Tobiah, who are the Avengers right now?
Who knows?
Exactly. It's like no one does.
Yeah. No.
And yet they're going to try to get butts in the seats in the theaters, and I don't think it's going to happen. Even with the success of their past films, I think no one cares anymore. They're uninspiring, and people are not interested.
Yeah. Did you watch the 2 latest episodes of Daredevil?
Yeah, I'm all caught up. Did you get caught up?
Yeah. Did you? So
has your opinion changed?
yeah, I would say I'd go back on most of the things I said about the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
They do have a lot of issues, and I don't think they're good.
Yeah.
um, but the 2 following episodes, I think they were better than the first 2, but still many, many, many issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my goodness, Kingpin's wife, what's her name?
Vanessa.
Vanessa. She is the worst thing like ever. She
She's pretty
is
insufferable.
horrible. Like I cannot stand her in this show.
She was
And
great in the Daredevil
oh
TV show.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's because she was a submissive,
Respectful wife.
respectful wife. I can't. Yeah, I mean, did they get married in the first
Yeah, they got
2,
married.
3
I don't know, it was
seasons?
season
Okay,
3
yeah.
or something. But
Okay, yes, yeah, it's still 3. Yeah, but that's why. I mean, and in this, she's just the worst.
I don't want to watch Daredevil and Vanessa go through couples
Yeah.
counseling and talk
Yeah.
about what how terrible Kingpin is because his wife cheated on him.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, what? This isn't. No one cares about this. This is
Yeah.
the most uninteresting thing you guys could have done with this show, and you went that route.
Yeah.
It just they made him very effeminate, very weak, and I don't know, and I don't know where they're gonna go from this. Go from
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Well,
It's boring. The show's boring.
yeah. Well, episode 3, the entire episode was a court case,
Which was actually probably the most interesting thing we've gotten.
true. Yeah.
I'd say like following what's his face, the White Tigers court
Yep.
case. It's like, okay, it was interesting, but at the same time there was a lot of dialogue. They kept telling us things. They kept they brought in all the people that the White Tiger saved, and they're telling us how great he is instead of just showing us. Like, why don't you show us scenes of him saving these people and doing heroic
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
Instead,
and
we're gonna put
and
go
I
ahead.
think there was a lot of issues with the dialogue in that episode. I mean, like when he revealed that
that he's the
that
White Tiger.
he was the
or
White
that he's the
Tiger,
vigilante.
that he's the vigilante, and then right after that he's like apologizing, and it's like all like the whole dialogue throughout that whole thing was just so weird and odd, especially for his character. Like it just felt really out of character for me. And then we know how that episode ended, which
Yeah, the one time he puts his
Okay.
suit on, he gets
I
his
know.
brains blown out. Yeah, it's like, okay.
so dumb. And then let's see, episode 4, we got Punisher
More couples
finally.
counseling.
Yeah, lot more couples counseling. That's all Kingpin's character has been in this show is
He's
counseling with
trying
his
to
wife.
run a campaign or trying to gain popularity among the people and trying to reconcile with his wife.
Yep.
Well,
That's all
and,
his character's been.
and
It's
control
been
his anger,
horrible.
basically.
Like,
that's
he
it.
hasn't even run it. Like his story, it has nothing to do with Daredevil. Like they only
Pretty much,
intersected in the first episode. Like their
Daredevil
paths
doesn't
only
have anything to do with
intersected.
Daredevil.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How'd you feel about Punisher and his character and his interactions with Daredevil?
I don't know. It wasn't much. It's just I thought that scene was fine. There was some tension there, and I like that Daredevil hit him, and then he apologizes, and then he's like, "No, Red, that's the realest, the first honest thing that you've said this whole time, or whatever." So okay, I mean, it was fine. It was good, I guess. And I think it's helpful for both their characters going forward, is depending on where they go with the character. Obviously, he's wrestling with whether or not he wants to be Daredevil, and he keeps bottling up all these emotions about Foggy and dealing with the loss and his grief, which this is the first time we really got anything related to that, like anything he actually was talking about Foggy and actually opening up about him, which is the first time that we've gotten that. And I feel like it was just a little too late. It's like we should have done this earlier. Yeah. And
well,
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, maybe too late.
And then he does decide, okay, he's going to be Daredevil. So he, at the end he gets his nunchucks and does that rooftop scene.
Yeah.
And so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yay! Finally, I guess.
Yeah, like I feel like that whole scene with Punisher, like it was good, but I think I have seen some people thinking it's great, but I think it's only seems great because we've just been like it's just been trash up to that point, and it's like the first decent thing, and they're like, oh, this is great, and it's like, not really. I mean, it's all right. It could have been a lot better.
You've been eating garbage. Now here's a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Well, that's I don't know. That's a good comparison.
Maybe that's not a good example. Maybe that's not good. I don't know. You're eating a Burger King. I don't know. Maybe Burger King. I don't know.
You're eating trash, and now you're eating dog food.
There you go. Let's keep it at that level. That's good. Okay. Yeah. I was trying to give a little more credit, I guess.
Yeah, maybe another thing, nice canned flavored dog food.
Right. Another thing I realized is that their scenes are so short in this show. Because the writers cannot carry scenes. You look at the original show, almost every scene was a decent length, had actual story progression, had like a scene, like an arc within the scene. And it like not dragged on, but like it lingered on in a compelling way and built the suspense. This one, every scene lasts like a couple minutes, and then they cut to another scene, and they have like couple lines of dialogue, a couple a few character interactions, and then cut to the next scene. And I absolutely cannot stand the reporter like scenes throughout, like the TikTok influencer
every
or something.
I
don't know.
Literally every time I see it, I'm like, oh, they put this in because the episode wasn't long enough.
Probably
every time I see it, that's exactly what I'm like.
It's just getting the public perception of Kingpin and the vigilantes running around. It's like, okay, I don't care, and it just takes me out of the show for one, and it doesn't fit tonally for me at all. So it bothers me. And then it's just like I said, each scene, like even the scene with Daredevil and Punisher, I feel like that could have been a lot longer and been a lot more compelling, and they could have built a little more suspense. But I don't think the writers can carry these scenes. I just don't think they're talented enough to do it. And I don't know. And then all of a sudden he decides he's going to be Daredevil again.
Yeah, I don't think it should have happened right there. Like if they were gonna do what they've been doing, they should have not had him make up his mind yet. It should have been the next episode, maybe halfway through. They needed one more thing to happen. Like he finally is like talking about Foggy, and then all of a sudden he's like, okay, I'll be Daredevil again. It doesn't make any sense. You need more, a little bit more in there before he makes that decision.
I mean, yeah,
like there was no time for the debate. Like he has to have that debate. Like if we're talking about story structures, we're talking about a 9-episode thing. He needs a debate, and that debate. Yeah. Well, technically, this whole thing should have. Yeah, technically, this whole thing should have been moved up a little more, and technically should have been moved up a little more. And then he's doing this, and then have him meet Punisher, have him, finally confess it, and then he debates it. Then he turns. But it was confess, turn, and there needed to be that debate in there.
Yeah.
For structure wise of how you structure a story, that's how it should have done. But they didn't do that.
No.
I do want to say, John Bernthal is doing amazing so far. I mean, he's only been in a couple scenes, but
He's only been in one
I
scene,
think
right? Is it just the one scene?
maybe it was.
I don't know.
Weren't they in like two? I don't remember. Anyway, either way,
Were they in more than one? I don't know. I mean, yeah, great. He's great, but and, like Charlie Cox, even like he's acting.
I feel
the
like
best that he's had before. I think the writing and dialogue is
he's
bad,
doing what he can with what he's got, for sure.
Him and Vincent D'Onofrio are the two of them are carrying the show. I'm guessing Bernthal going forward, he's going to be a little more prominent. I'm assuming he's going to carry the show. It's the three of them.
I hope he's in it more.
That's
in
it.
the trailer.
Every
he wasn't
supporting
in
character. What was that?
In the trailers, John Bernthal wasn't in anymore.
Well,
so that might be it.
They've been setting it up.
They promised us Punisher.
Cops.
True. They promised us Punisher. They promised us Foggy, and they promised us Karen. Foggy and Karen. You were right. They were only going to be in the first 2 episodes.
Yep.
And they were gone, and we're not going to see them anymore.
Well, Karen's going to show up apparently one more time, but that's it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Probably right at the end.
Yeah, towards something. Yeah, like I think before the third act of this season, but yeah, but yeah, and they've been building up to Punisher. I'm assuming they're going to do something more with him because of the whole dirty cop things. He's going to come in and tell all these cops that they don't understand what the skull stands for.
Because they're doing a Punisher show or movie show, right? I think it's a
special. It's probably going to be like a 1 or 2 episode thing.
Okay. Well, so like maybe that's what they were setting up. I could easily see them doing that. Like,
my guess is that he takes on the role of the Punisher, just following the themes of the show with Kingpin and Daredevil, and just that fighting that the devil within. I'm assuming they're going to do the same thing with Punisher, and he takes up the mantle once again because he's kind of given it. I don't know. Has he given it up? I think so. I think that's what they're implying, and so he'll take up the mantle again as the Punisher and do his own thing after that.
Right.
My guess.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm just kind of bored with it, and I think this is just because this isn't a huge hit. I think it's evident that Marvel is pretty much done. I don't think people care anymore.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It'll be interesting to see how DC does with Superman. Like, are people going to care enough to go see a Superman movie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be... I think the whole superhero fatigue is going to affect that for sure.
It's not even fatigue. It's just...
Yeah, it's fatigue of getting so much bad superhero writing.
I guess. So much bad and just not anything of substance. Anything that that captures the normal audience or the normies out there. It doesn't. It's nothing. The MCU captured a lot of people that didn't care about superhero movies. They didn't care, but they went to go watch these movies, and they learned to care. Or they fell in love with those movies and with those characters and following this 10-year story arc, and they made a lot, sold a lot of tickets, made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But what have we gotten in the last 10 years now? We're coming up. When was Endgame? Was that 18 or 19? I don't even know. I think it was 2019.
19, yeah. I think
so.
It was
Yeah,
19.
So it's been 6 years.
Yep.
And we've gotten just garbage. Has there been anything that's been of substance except for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which I thought was really good? That's it, really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. The only thing that could be maybe considered would be, by normies, would be Spider-Man, but we all know how bad of a story that was, and but that would be like the only thing that normies would
Deadpool and
probably say.
Wolverine, which
Oh yeah,
was a
true.
holdover from Fox, a carryover from Fox.
Yeah,
It was just similar to the Spider-Man No Way Home and the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. It was just a culmination of a decade of storytelling, and
yep,
with Wolverine and Deadpool and coming together.
Yep.
To go on an adventure.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's about time.
I think so. I was going to talk about the Daily Wire for a second, but we can save that for another time. Just kind of see where things unfold with the Daily Wire. But yeah.
Yeah, we can save that for next week.
Yeah.
There'll probably be a little more that unfolds by then.
Probably.
Yeah. I'll go and close this out.
All right.
Well, everybody, thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you are considering these movies that you're watching and consuming, and the content that you're taking in. And just remember to glorify God and watch good movies. We're out. Bye.
See ya.